All right, we are going to be navigating the Color Wheel Collage project. So, you should have gotten pictures from either Pexels or Unsplash or Google Images. You could also look on Canva as well. They have free stock images as well. What I like to typically do is just either type in purple or dark purple or even purple texture, whatever the name of the color is, type that into the search. Also, pink you can consider magenta as something for this as well. That might help you search some things as well, and that kind of goes along with the red and purple make a red violet or a magenta more so than a pink, so that might help you with that one. You can also type in for anywhere that says like blue purple, blue violet is another word, like green blue. Another name you could type in is teal or turquoise, ocean blue, those sort of things, because that's going to get you that mixture between blue and green here. So if that helps kind of narrow down some of the searching and stuff, that might help. So this is kind of the template, but it has the letters in it, so we want to make sure that we grab the plain template. You can find this in your Canvas assignment, so let's go to Canvas here. So if you go to the Color Wheel Collage project, you will see it right here, and you can actually click and drag it to your desktop or the folder that you saved it in. And then you can go to your Photoshop, and you could probably just go to open with. So right clicking and open with, that should be fine. Let's see if it's thinking about it. I'm going to go ahead and check the canvas size here just to see what we've got. That's pretty large. So honestly, if you just select open with, that's totally fine. This is larger than what I put in the original guidelines, so either or is fine. You'll get the same result. And right away, we don't have to do any sort of thing right now. We can just leave the background locked. That's totally fine. And you should have your colors in a folder on your OneDrive or anything like that, and you should have them labeled. That will greatly help you locate them, so you're not having to fudge around with long file names and trying to guesstimate which ones are. So I highly suggest as soon as you download them that you can right click on that file and say rename and then retype something. So I have all mine named. Now we're going to go into Photoshop, and I'm going to pull up the other template here that has the where to start. I'm going to go ahead and start on dark red and light red here. So I'm going to come right here. This is where I'm going to start. I am going to be using the magic wand tool. And I'm going to start on the dark red here. I'm going to select inside here. And then I'm going to go to File, Open. And I'm going to find my folder here. And I have my sample images here. And I'm going to go for dark red. And I'm going to open this up. It's going to open up completely in a new Photoshop file. So this is kind of reminiscent of the Jetsons activity, where we select all the Jetsons and then pulled them into a new file and dropped them in. So very similar situation here. We're going to stay on the magic wand tool. And if you notice, you have this like little cursor. This means I can move that selection. And I'm going to click and drag up here, and I'm going to not let go until I actually get in here. Now you'll see this is a little bit too small for me. You might have this happen, you might not have this happen, but if you find a lot of high resolution images, especially from Pexels or Unsplash, you are going to probably run into this situation where it's like, oh no, my selection, it's not as big as I want it. Well, that's okay. We can always go up to Select, Transform Selection, and then we can expand that selection out to get more of that texture or background that we want. Okay, and then once we are done transforming it, that might be just maybe a little too much, I am going to hit done, or you can hit enter, and now I have a bigger selection, and I'm going to hit Windows C or Command C, and that's going to copy that selection. Then I'm going to go over here. Now if I didn't resize it, when I hit paste, it would have actually gone to the size of the selection if I didn't resize it. So because I hit Command V or Windows V, it is very large, and I'm going to have to actually resize that selection now. It's going to be in the exact same like cut out like shape, but it's just going to need to be resized. So I'm going to hit Windows T or Command T, and I'm going to resize that, and you will see that it is in the exact same shape as that selection, and I'm just going to make sure that I bring it back down. So you might have instances where that happens. As long as you kind of line it back up with where it was, that is a-okay. And you can also use your move cursors on your keyboard to kind of shift things if it's clicking and dragging is not that great. And then hit done or hit enter, and then boom. Again, you can switch over to your move tool, select it, and I needed to kind of scoot it over just a little bit. Might need to just expand it just a smidgen more, just a smidge. All right, perfect. So again, that feature was to transform it, to resize it, is Windows T or Command T. You just got to make sure that you hit enter or done once you are done resizing it and transforming it. All right, I'm going to go to my next little area. Oh, and you'll see this is happening where all of the walking ants are around there, and I don't want that. So you need to make sure that you're on the right layer. So I'm going to hit Windows D or Command D to deselect. I'm actually going to name my layers so this kind of clears it up a little bit, but you need to be on your background layer when you go back to your magic wand. I'm going to select that. You can go ahead and close out of dark red or whatever color you start on. Don't save, you don't need to. That selection's still there, and I'm going to go to File, Open, and I'm going to find light red. Alrighty, and I'm going to do that same thing. Drag and drop my selection. Again, it's not the size that I really want it, so I'm going to select Transform Selection, and I'm going to make it bigger to get a little bit more of that texture in there. I kind of want it on the lighter parts anyways. Okay, and then click done, and Windows C, go back over here, Windows V, and I'm going to hit Windows T to transform that back. And you don't want to necessarily rotate it either, because it should already be in the rotation that it is supposed to be in. All right. So that is one way that you can go about it. All right, another way that you can go about it, I'm going to go ahead and rename my layers here. Light red. All right. Another way you can go about it is by going ahead and let's select the next one, which I believe is red orange. Yes, we're gonna go red orange over here. I'm gonna go ahead and select this. This is where the dark red orange is going to be. And I am going to go File, Place Embedded, and let's find dark red orange here. All right, and I'm going to roughly, and I think it got rid of my selection, so I might have to reselect it again. I'm gonna roughly like kind of place this over. So here's the thing with this, it's going to be a little harder to kind of like maneuver that. So I really want the eye to kind of like be in there. Okay, and then hit done. Once you have it placed, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hide this layer. I'm going to go back over and I'm going to reselect this area. My bad. And then I'm going to select this layer. And you'll see that my like layer has that selection that I selected from the background. And then I can just go and do a layer mask. And that's another way that you can go about it. Either way, whatever way you want to do it, that is okay to me. As long as we're, paying attention and making sure that we're getting as close to those outlines as possible and not seeing so much of the white background, and that those edges are kind of smooth. So 2 different ways to go about it. Totally up to you how you go about it. So first one is, using that, making a selection, make sure you're on the right layer here. And then dragging that selection to a new window. So File, Open, so on and so forth. I'm going to find my light red orange here. All right. And then I'm going to drag this over. Again, very small, so I can go up to Select, Transform Selection, and kind of get it on some of those like folds right there. Yeah, I think right there. Perfect. Done. Windows C and then Windows V, and of course having to Command T and do that, or you can do the other way, which is placing your image or dragging and dropping it in and selecting the background, and then making sure to select your layer that you have your image on, and then doing the layer mask. So up to you. Let's see, light red orange. All right, next one is going to be, so I'm going to do File, Place Embedded. I'm going to do, my dark and light orange I had kind of on the same one, so I'm going to go ahead and place that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and hover. I'm going to go ahead and do a duplicate of this since I have 2 in 1. A quick way to do a duplicate is by doing Windows J. Oh, it looks like I have to actually place it. So Windows J or Command J. I'm going to go ahead and hide one of them. And I'm going to hide both of them actually so I can see where I'm selecting. So I'm going to do the dark orange first, and then I'm going to reselect this. And I'm going to, that selection is pretty good. Then I'm going to hit the layer mask button. Oops. Make sure you're on the right layer before you hit the layer mask. And perfect. And now I already have a copy of this one, so I'm going to switch over to my Move tool and make sure that more of the light orange is in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and hide it, switch back to my background, select my magic wand, select that area, unhide this, make sure that's the layer that's active, hit the layer mask button. and it works just the same as the dragging and dropping. You just don't have to necessarily resize it. Now again, if I were to run into an actual picture where it didn't have to be, it would just cut and paste right in. So let me see if I can find one where that's an example where I could use that. Let's see. So I feel like maybe the stars would be okay, or even this, that dark green. Yeah, let me go with dark green here. I'm gonna go ahead and say open with Photoshop. That way it just opens, and then let's just check where dark green is supposed to be. This bottom left here, so right here. I'm going to switch back over here and we'll do that. I'm going to click and drag here, and then I'm going to drag this. I'm going to drag it to more of the darker green area, and then I'm going to hit Windows C or Command C and then Windows V, and you'll see that dark green, I didn't have to do any resizing because I was satisfied with the selection that had, and then I was able to just paste it at that size. So completely up to you how you want to go about doing that. You have two different options there. I'm gonna name this dark green, and I'm really just gonna keep moving through and finish this, and you can just follow along at rapid pace and see my finished product, and hopefully enjoy making your own color wheel using this process. It's pretty fun. It's kind of nice and relaxing, and the end result is always unique. Everybody's going to have completely different ones, and that's always such a fun thing when we find completely different images and come up with completely different products. So with the same structure, same concept, but all the things. So alrighty, well, without further ado, I'm going to continue working here, and you just see what I'm doing, and I'm going to speed it up, and you can follow along if you so choose.